The last time you cried.
I don't know when's the last time I actually cried. The reality is there's some element of it that's taught and understood from a very young age that you don't cry, you don't show emotion. That is weakness. I'll tell you one of the times that I cried the hardest. Man, I don't know if I can go here, Joyce. And I went to this counselor, and then this guy looked at me and he was like, Joe, part of the reason why you're stuck is because you're not admitting the truth about yourself. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Unanswered. My name is Joe.
And I'm Joyce. We're going to talk about how boys don't cry.
Okay.
Is it uncomfortable for you?
As long as I don't have to cry today, then it won't be uncomfortable.
So, do I have the permission to ask you questions?
No, you absolutely do not have my permission. I do not consent.
Okay, I'll ask them anyways.
Oh my gosh, that is just so wrong. Okay, you have my permission, but hey, I cannot be responsible for the things that I say.
The last time you cried.
I don't know when's the last time I actually cried. It's probably been a long time.
Somebody died, funeral.
I actually don't remember.
Really? But okay, let's go back to tears though, because this is what we were talking about.
Okay. I was about to go back to those stats from last week.
Oh, tell me.
No, the ones where I talked about that, men and how we commit suicide 4 times more than women. We're 90% of the prison population. We're 60% of the homeless population. We don't seek mental health or we have more mental illness typically than women, or we don't seek help as much as women do for mental health. And all of this, I think, is tied back to that, not being, or part of it, not all of it, but some of it is still tied back to that emotion and the way people see men, and us not being able to be in touch with those emotions.
Right. Because it's kind of a vicious cycle, right? Like with ideas like this, with man up, boys don't cry, we don't cry, tears get back in there. Like that ideas like that, do you feel like that kind of contributed to this whole pandemic?
It kind of contributes to it, but the reality is there's some element of it that's taught and understood from a very young age that you don't cry, you don't show emotion. That is weakness for us
exactly.
as men.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
We were ridiculed as kids if we start crying. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. In your memory, when did you first learn that tears are not allowed?
I'm sure when I was young, and I grew up, first of all, it was, me, my twin brother, and my older brother. But then I grew up in a house full of 8 kids, and all of them were boys except for 2 girls, right? And so we had to learn very quickly. I'm second from the oldest, so, but you man up, right? You don't cry, you don't, or those things. But I think the first time where I found where it was unsafe, really unsafe, because I'm sure in school and in that, sibling rivalry and things like that, yes, there was probably some aspect. But the time where I found out where it was most unsafe was when I would get beat by my parents. And I'm not gonna go into the depth, but I mean beat. Yeah. And I still have scars to this day. It's just beat. And the wild part was that my stepfather would be so incensed when I cried. And so he would tell me, stop crying. And no matter if he's beating me with his fist or whether it's some switch that he soaked in alcohol so that when he hits me, he burns me and all. I mean, all the craziness that he did, like when I started crying, it would incense him even more. And so there were times where he was like, well, you can't eat in my house, you can't sleep in any of my beds, you can't do anything until you're ready to take your beating without crying. Sick, man, sick behavior. And once again, I'm not going into the depth because it got crazy, but that's when I found it is unsafe. It is unsafe for me to cry. And it got to the point I don't even know how. I'm a piece of work. Thank you for marrying me. There's been a lot of like counseling and deep going through some of this stuff. But I remember, man, there was a time in my life where this guy could be beating me and I would just be looking at him, and the hatred and the anger in me, I would forcibly keep myself from crying. I was like that cop in Cloudy with a Chance at Meatballs. I'm like, I won't give you the pleasure. I won't give you the pleasure of allowing you to see my tears.
Oh gosh.
No matter how much you beat me. And it was weird because it was at that point, maybe I got old enough, I don't know, where like one time he like, and I wouldn't even make a sound. I wouldn't scream at that point. I would just take it. Have you ever seen the movie Glory?
I don't remember.
There's an old movie called Glory, and it has, what is this guy's name? Very, very famous black actor.
Denzel?
Denzel!
Yes.
Denzel Washington. Has Denzel Washington when he's young, and he is a black guy fighting in the Civil War, and they strap him up to whip him. And that scene is kind of exactly how I don't know why, but I identify with that scene. And in that scene, they're whipping him for trying to run away, right? Because he was a slave before or something. They're whipping this guy for trying to run away. And they're about to tie him up. And he's like, no. He takes his stuff off. I don't know if he tried to run away or if he stole some food. It's something like very small. And he puts his own hands up there and he just looks at the guy. As this guy starts hitting him with the whip. And you can hear it. And, he shows emotion on his face. But he's like, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of crying out. I'm not going to let you hear my voice. I'm not going to and that's kind of where I was. I identified with that scene. I'm like, I will not give you the pleasure of seeing my tears. Wow. That's when I found out.
What did that do to you? Like, what message did the young Joe learn after years of taking abuse like that?
I learned a lot of bad lessons. I learned a lot of
the bad lessons, because
I learned hate. I learned how to hate really well. I learned anger like you wouldn't believe. But I realized as I got a bit older that all of that anger, all of that hatred, it all stemmed back to one place. And that place was fear. And it had this little boy inside of me that was so afraid.
So he was putting up a front because he didn't want to give your stepdad the satisfaction of taking pleasure in beating you.
I feel like, man, I don't want to say this, but I think he got off on it, man. Like, honestly, I don't know a better way to say that, but I think that it brought sadistic. Him enjoyment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into all of the stuff, but like, as I said, at some point I will, but I think that he actually enjoyed it. And for me, I was like, I will not give you the enjoyment. I refuse to allow you to take enjoyment from my tears. I refuse to allow you to take enjoyment from my pain anymore.
You do that long enough, it's really, it really chips at you.
Joyce, this is how psycho killers are made.
Yes.
I'm just like,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know, man. I think this is how to be at the age I am and to have never been in prison and to have never, I think is literally just, I'm gonna say it is literally God's grace. I can't explain it any other way because by all intents and measures, I should be some like vile creature.
Right.
And so, but it took some of this actually.
Some of what?
getting in touch with my emotions and getting all that stuff out in order for me to be even as healthy as I am. And I'm not saying I'm the epitome of health, but to be healthy enough where I can talk about it without going crazy, where I can actually verbalize some of the things that have happened in my past. Like that.
Yes, definitely. And be able to not bring all this hurt onto the next generation.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that is.
Oh my gosh, Joyce.
That is.
You have no clue. Go ahead, finish your statement.
No, but that is a testament of the healing work that you've gone through. Don't you
Joyce,
think?
this was one of my greatest fears. This is one of my greatest fears. My greatest fears growing up was that I would do to my kids what he did to me, that I would take this crap, into my family. Like I wanted no part of it.
And it's very ironic. I think a lot of people going through what you have gone through would think the same thing. But the irony is that a majority of them will continue.
Hurt people always hurt people, typically.
In some shape or form.
Hurt people will hurt people.
Because we're not healed.
Yeah.
We refuse to look ourselves in the face. We refuse to man up.
We refuse to do the hard work. And the
Yes.
hard work, man.
Boys don't cry. An English saying. In ancient Rome, men wept openly. Generals mourned their fallen soldiers with tears. Emperors cried at funerals. Grief was public, shared, expected. To feel deeply wasn't weakness. It was proof that you were fully human. Then something shifted. By the Middle Ages, the ideal man was stoic. Tears became associated with weakness, with those who couldn't handle the weight of the world. Every culture had its own version of the same instruction. Real men don't cry. But here's what nobody told them. Suppressing an emotion doesn't kill it. It just goes underground, and it'll find its way out, usually at the worst possible moment. So what does it cost a man who was never given permission to be real?
I think that guys handle crying differently than girls. I can't speak for all guys. I can speak for this one.
Yes.
But I think we handle crying differently from
In what
girls.
way? Tell me.
I think
Tell me.
I think crying is like currency for ladies.
What?
It's something you use. It's something maybe currency is not the right word. Open mouth, insert Nike store.
What do you mean?
Like, I think that it's something that you guys use very often. It's very easy for you to use, right? It's something let me finish.
Okay.
Something that
Do not get offended, Joyce.
Exactly.
Listen to him.
Calm down. But the only reason why I say currency is because something that we always use. It's something that you trade back and forth. Like you wouldn't go without using currency, right? Mm-hmm. And so for women, I think it's almost like currency. Like it's something that you use. It's valuable, but you have to use it. For guys, we can go for years probably without crying. It's not like I know women who will be like, I need to watch a sad movie so that they can cry because then they feel better afterwards. I have never had a guy tell me. I've never heard of it. Where a guy's like, I just needed a really good cry.
Do you equate tears with weakness?
So, in the past, I have absolutely equated tears with weakness. Mm-hmm. I think I was brought up to equate tears with weakness. Tears actually used to make me furious.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I always thought that if I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you about something serious and you start crying, it's like I always felt like this person is trying to manipulate me.
Did not understand.
When we first got married, I was like, why are you crying? What? We're not talking about something hard here. Why are you crying? What are the tears for? And you're like, Joe, I'm crying because people cry. And I'm like, no, they don't. Not when we're just talking. There's no crying. I'm sitting here talking like Tom Hanks. There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying.
Okay, but this is real story. It's true story. This really happened.
It really happened.
And
a couple times.
Yes,
a few times.
several times.
Yeah.
Yes. And I had to explain to you, like, I mean, I agree with you. Tears do different things for different people.
Right. It's a release.
It is a release.
It's a release.
It is a release. And for different reasons.
So maybe currency is not the right word. Release is a better word.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I see tears as a release of emotion.
Yes.
You know,
of
like
course.
it's like laughing. It's like laughing.
Wow. That's definitely a different perspective of looking at it.
So okay, so you know, okay, what?
It just kind of made sense because like I just thought about how weird it would be if somebody was laughing and it was like
Exactly. Or somebody,
you know what, I'm gonna start laughing like that just because people will think it's creeptacular and they will just leave you alone. If somebody, that was hilarious.
people, I've thought long and hard about this, and I think it's the same thing. It's a release. Laughter is a release, right?
Yes.
And so it's almost inconceivable for us to think about someone telling a really good joke. What if you had to hold it in? Like, can you imagine the strength it's gonna take to hold it in? So I guess my point is, tears is, I think it's kind of like a mechanism that humans use to express certain emotions. And like, for me, I cry the most when I'm angry.
Okay.
Which is very, very like frustrating to me. Like I hate this part about how I operate. Like because people mistaken that for weakness, and then I'm like, I'm not weak. I'm just really, really angry. I either cry or I hit you. So
I can identify with that.
Okay.
I can identify with that. But I used to think that I was just crazy because when I get like when I cry. If I'm angry enough to cry, then that's rage mode. And usually I'll be crying and laughing at the same time.
Oh,
where it's just like, it's rage.
Yes.
I have not seen that in years. I've not been that mad.
But
where I'm
it has.
and I'm crying at the same time because it's like,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and that's not a good thing. So and I'm not bragging on that, but yeah, there were times where I was like, okay, I don't care right now if I live or die. I'm going to tear up everything.
Dude, that's dangerous.
That's a dangerous place to be. So that's not, I'll tell you one of the times that I cried the hardest. Man, I don't know if I can go here, Joyce. Okay, one of the times that I cried the hardest in my life was when I had done a bunch of stuff. I was in some bad behaviors. I couldn't understand why I was doing the behaviors. I was trying to do good, but I wasn't. And I'm like, I'm stuck in this place, and I don't understand how am I here. And I had a friend who, you know him, and his family, loved him, Tom and Iris Love, who were like, hey, Joe, we see your situation. To this day, I love these guys. And they were like, we want to make sure, we just want to get you some counseling and we're going to pay for it. We're going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. We just want you to go to counseling. Why? Because we care about you. And I was like, yeah, but do you see all these things? I'm such a bad, and they're like, we don't want to hear about all of that. We want to hear about how bad a person you are. We just want you to go to counseling because we want you to be better. And I went to this counselor, and this counselor, he listened to my story and stuff. And then this guy looked at me and he was like, Joe, you're part of the reason why you're stuck and why all these behaviors happening is because you're not admitting the truth about yourself.
Wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm not admitting the truth about myself? And he's like, you're not admitting that your parents didn't love you.
Ooh.
And I was like, what do you mean? Of course my parents loved me. He's like, Joe, your parents did not love you. And I was enraged. Do you understand? I was enraged. Who are you to sit here and try to tell me my parents? He was like, Joe, he didn't even care about my emotions at that point. Not that he didn't care, but he was trying to just really point out truth to me. And he was like, Joe, they may have wanted or had some inclination of what love means, but they were unable to express to you and to show you love. They did not love you. He's like, and until you admit that, you will not be able to go from this place.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I don't know how to explain this, Joyce. But as he said it, it's as if the truth hit me. That I had walked through, I had made excuses for them so long in my life. I tried to say maybe I was crazy. Maybe I was the bad one. I deserved all of the crap that happened to me. And he's like, no, Joe. You don't understand. They didn't love you. No matter, maybe they, for whatever reason, they could not love you this way. And Joyce, I broke. I sat there on that floor. I remember it vividly, on my face, screaming out guttural, crying like you would not believe. This guy came to me. And the last thing I saw was his feet walking away as he dropped a whole box of tissues in front of me and walked to the other side of the room. And he left me there for the next 30 to 45 minutes as I'm talking a snot, visceral, like release. And it was at that point where I finally admitted it, where I could say, okay, it's true. He's like, now that you've admitted it, now we can get up and we can build ourselves up from here. We've come to the realization there's been a death, but now from here, we can revive and go forward.
Wow.
It's the hardest I've ever cried in my life. And wow. It's also why I tell people it's very important. The counseling can be very important because a lot of times we're stuck in behaviors that we don't even realize why we're doing things, and unless we come to some understanding of and deal with some of the issues that we have experienced, because in reality, nobody gets out clean. Nobody gets out clean, right? I don't care who you are. There's no such thing as a perfect family. Nobody gets out clean. Mm-hmm. But until we deal with some of that stuff, then we can't be the fullest version of ourselves. And sometimes it entails this, getting in touch with those emotions that we would never, ever like show to someone else. And I don't even know why I'm telling everybody this, but it was one of those times, like I said, that's probably the time where I've cried the most in my life, at least from when I was older. But when I was young, yeah, probably. But when I was older, that's probably the time I've cried the most.
Wow. Dang.
It's a lot. And let me tell you, it was a process from there to really walk in the healing aspect. And it took more counseling. It took more. It's not like, oh, that day, everything changed. No. It took more. But
it was a start.
And it was a switch. It was a start.
Because they were.
You know what it did?
What?
It put a nail in the coffin of my past to say, you're no longer bound to this. You've admitted it. It's done. It happened. And you realize it. Now bury it and let's walk forward.
Because without admitting that truth, there was never closure.
There's never closure.
And I think, like,
my stepfather was never punished.
Yeah.
My mom passed away. Like, I mean, I was able to talk to her about it, but she didn't really even admit it. You know,
No.
So there was never any real closure or like where there was reconciliation or that never happened. That never happened.
Yeah.
But that was the opportunity for closure to happen and then for me to move forward.
Yes. And do you think I know most men would not want to admit that they've cried so hard.
I would never. I just told the world that. I would say I would never admit that. Like I just told the whole world. I would
But I
never
think-
want to admit that. But
but with the stigma and and just this whole idea of what it means to be, what society, the labels that we've put on men and what they're supposed to look like, who they're supposed to be, they're not supposed to cry. Right. But would you how else would you have expressed that grief?
I don't know.
Right? Like
I don't know.
It was just natural. It's not like you planned it. It's not like, okay, you know what, in 2 minutes 45 seconds I'm gonna cry the hardest of my life. It's not like that. No. Right?
But there was a sense of relief.
Yes.
There was a release and relief.
Yes.
And it was almost as if afterwards I was like, man, okay, this is the start of something new. I got to walk in it. It's going to be hard to walk. It's like a baby when it's first learning. I'm going to have to learn how to walk, but this is the start of something new.
Because if you didn't allow for that release, there could never be a start.
Right.
Because
absolutely.
There was no end. You would still be carrying the hurt, the grief, the anger, right?
All the bitterness, all the rage, all the ugliness. I would still be carrying it to this day, man. I was just not a great person. I'm not saying I'm that great a person now, but back then I was just not a great person. So, but you know what? Let me really quick give a shout out to Iris and Tom and Iris. You guys. Man, you guys, you will always hold a special place in my heart. I don't know if you guys are watching the podcast or not, but you will always hold a very, very special place in my heart for what you did. I will never forget that because I wouldn't be the same person if not for you guys. You reached out to me at a time when nobody else did, when I was at the lowest and I was considered like refuse to everyone else. They reached out and they didn't care, man. I'm telling you. You guys will always be some of my top people. So,
man, thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. I wasn't actually planning on sharing that. So, but you asked me questions, and I don't know why you keep asking me all these crazy questions because then we have to start going into stuff, and I'm like, man, that's why I don't want you asking questions.
Well,
but it's a podcast, so that's what we do.
Exactly. I think that's what we do.
Yeah.
We go where other people don't want to go.
Exactly.
And I think it's because I think we believe that the world needs more honesty and authenticity.
Yes.
And if we don't, like we said last week, we don't have enough people who've gone before us to come back and show us the way, So if in any way, shape, or form we could do a little bit of that, we want to.
So here's a question for our viewers. I have a couple questions for them. Mm-hmm. What was the situation when you cried the hardest? And for guys, were you ever told, do you look at tears as a sign of weakness? And was there ever a point where you actually overcame that or where you see it? I'll tell you, the way you described it today it just made sense. And that's probably one of the best explanations I've heard is that it's an emotion. It's like laughter. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I've never heard anyone like explain it that way so clearly before. So that makes sense. And what do you think about that definition? Like if we look at crying as the same as an emotional release and expression as laughter, then does it make it okay for us to be more in tune with ourselves or in tune with our emotions and to cry? Like, let us know.
See, I think that's the idea. It's not, we need to get away from associating tears with weakness. Mm-hmm. Because nobody ever associated laughter with strength, right?
Right.
Like
we do associate laughter with being funny.
But not with strength.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So I feel like that's what we need to get away from, but it has nothing to do with someone's womanhood or manhood. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If it's an innate mechanism for humans to release emotions.
Right. Oh,
Like-
yeah.
So we just need to start looking at it as a neutral thing, right? Like
Right.
so a reaction, a release, right? Being married to me, has that changed your relationship with tears?
Yes, absolutely. Because I told you, we talked about that already. When we first got married, I literally thought you were trying to manipulate me with your tears.
Oh, you thought I was?
Yes, absolutely. Every time we have a conversation, why are we crying? What? Joyce, why are we crying?
I thought you were talking about in general. You were talking about me.
I'm talking about you specifically.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
talking about you. You even said, "Oh, this happened before." No, I'm talking literally about you.
I thought you were talking about
Who else would I?
women.
No.
You're talking about me.
Joyce, you literally said.
Joe,
Were you
Joe.
here at the beginning of this episode? Was there somebody else here? I literally said.
Okay. I hear you now, but it was so far fetched because I never intended to manipulate you. I was just angry.
And I'm saying that's what I had to learn was that you weren't trying to manipulate me. I had to understand. Oh no, this is just her releasing emotion.
Yes.
Right? This is her releasing emotion. This is not her being angry. I mean, this is just her releasing emotion. This is not her trying to manipulate the decision or anything like that, but just, right?
Yeah.
But that was a lesson I had to learn because everything I knew about tears, everything was, no, you don't cry.
Yes. Under no circumstances.
Under no circumstances, right?
Yes.
And if I'm crying, that means it's rage mode.
Yes.
So
you don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there.
So it's
why are we
almost
crying?
like yeah. So you almost like did you think I was irrational? Like I was.
Yes, because I'm like, this is not important. This is not such an important topic of discussion where we need to be crying. It is not to the level of crying. For me, crying is the last frontier. Why are we at crying level? Frown level, okay, maybe. Scowl level, okay, yes, I get it. Cross your arms level, yes, probably there. Cry level, no. We're not at that level. Why are we at crying level?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You
Thanks for
understand?
clarifying.
You understand?
I just didn't realize you were talking about me.
Who else would I be talking about?
I don't know.
And you are the only person I've ever married. Of course I was talking about you.
No. You were talking about. I know. I asked you that question, but you were talking about women crying in general. So
I was speaking too generally. I was like, there may be some people who have used crying to manipulate others. At least I thought so. Not so much right here, but more in this general vicinity. Next time I'll be more specific.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. That's a wrap.
That is a wrap. Oh my word.
Oh my gosh.
These just keep it interesting. We have to move on off of this topic at some point.
I know, right?
Because I don't know how many more of these we could do. Okay?
No. I think this is it. We'll revisit the man series sometime in the future, but I think that's that's it. That's it for now.
But I love you, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And of course, we can joke about it now because that was so early on in our marriage. But
that is so funny.
Tell us if you guys have had the same experience. Like,
Yes.
guys, do you feel that way when if you're talking to someone, they start crying? Do you feel like they're manipulating you? Let us know. But before you do that, what we want you to do is go ahead and warm up those palms. Take one finger and hit that subscribe button.
And follow us on your favorite social media platforms. We are on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, LinkedIn, and Facebook under Unanswered 100.
100. All right, so thank you guys for joining us once again. We hope to see you next time. I hope we're not going to do another man series, but if you really want it, leave it in the comments and let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys all the time. And just let us know what you think about this. If boys don't cry, is it a good thing? Is it a sign of weakness? And I think that's all. You got anything else? All right, then thank you guys for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.